So students, here is a rough draft of someone's persuasive essay. So I say it's a rough draft because this student, it's not yet double-spaced, there's no paper title, there's no story title, and stuff like that. So why am I making a video about someone's rough draft? Well, basically what I want to do is I want to show you good essay structure. So this student has good essay structure for their rough draft. And this is a rough draft because this was something that he posted in the forums. Anyway, so what I want to do is talk about what is a good persuasive essay and what makes a really good thesis statement. And so this student has both. He's written an effective thesis statement and he's written an effective essay, because he has a thesis statement where his topic sentences match his thesis. And also, his thesis statement has a topic, an opinion, and reasons. And all of his body paragraphs, topic sentence, align with the reasons in his thesis statement. And also remember that to have an effective thesis statement, you have to have two parts, a what and a why. In other words, what states the topic and the opinion, and then the why states why your claim is important or why we should believe you. So that the why part is the body paragraphs that justify and illustrate your point and prove your point to the reader using credible sources. Okay, so let's start with, he needs to indent his paragraph, but that I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so let's start with making this easier to read, at least for me anyway. So I will double space it for him. And so basically you do this, and then you go, you select it, then you go Control 2. Voila! Now you've got a double spaced paper. So I just showed everybody how to do a double spaced paper. Now, there has been a lot of talk about expanding gun control in the United States lately due to the mass shootings in New York and Texas. The Second Amendment in the United States states the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This amendment was passed by Congress in 1789, as has been a staple of the American way since. Government officials taking guns away from citizens would cause three main problems. And so here you have the what. Okay, so in other words, if government officials take guns away from citizens, so that would be the topic, would cause three main problems. That's the opinion. So here you have the topic. Oh, this is his thesis statement, by the way. So he has his thesis statement at the last sentence of the first paragraph, which is what he is supposed to do. So he has an effective thesis statement because the first part of his thesis statement expresses the topic. In other words, expresses what the topic is about. Then the second half of his thesis statement talks about why. And so therefore, when you have a good thesis statement, you have to have a what component and a why component. And then the why component, which is the reasons, becomes your body paragraphs here. So the reasons he has here, so government officials taking guns away from citizens would cause three main problems. Violent crime would greatly increase. Gun owners would become very defiant towards the government, and other nations would be more apt to attack America if the government tried to take away guns from law-abiding citizens. They would make a huge mistake. So here you have his reasons, and then his reasons become his body paragraphs. First, taking away guns from law-abiding citizens would cause violent crimes to drastically increase. And so here, his topic sentence matches his thesis statement, in which he says here, violent crimes would greatly increase. So that your body paragraphs need to match your thesis statement. So when you have a thesis statement with matching body paragraphs, that is known as the 5-paragraph essay. Then he did a great job using transition words. First, next, lastly. Although he should put it in conclusion over here. So it's not perfect, obviously. Nobody's is perfect. Nobody's essay is perfect. So first, taking guns away from law-abiding citizens would cause violent crimes to drastically increase. So that's your topic sentence. Then all of the rest of the paragraph needs to talk about that topic sentence. So this becomes, remember, the topic sentence is the first part of the paragraph. Then you have supporting sentences that support the topic paragraph, and then you have the conclusion paragraph. Law-abiding citizens would not be allowed to have, first, taking away guns from law-abiding citizens would cause violent crimes to drastically increase. Law-abiding citizens would not be allowed to have guns. But what about Americans who do not abide by laws? If these people have not abided by the law in the past, why would they follow the law telling them they could not have a firearm? They wouldn't. In large urban counties, around 70% of violent crimes are committed by criminals with a prior arrest. Then he did a good job in putting in his in-text citation. So after you cite a numerical, like statistics or numbers, then you have to have an in-text citation where you put in the author and the date. Convicted felons can buy guns illegally easier than non-felons can buy them legally in certain parts of the country. Next, gun owners would start defying the government and could potentially start some type of civil war if the government tried taking away people's law-abiding firearms. A gun's main objectives are protection against violence to one's person or property and to hunt for food. Now take the gun owner's perspective, who legally bought these guns for their own protection. Suddenly the government says you cannot protect yourself with firearms, even though the Second Amendment says you can. How will that make gun owners feel? They would want to fight for their right to own guns. Lastly, other nations would attack the United States much easier if the population, the U.S. population, which population? So here he could put in the U.S. population did not have the right to own a firearm. Gun ownership has been the most deterring factor for foreign nations to attack our country for years, to attack the U.S. So we want to avoid first-person case, so to attack the United States. So avoid first-person case. So I am correcting minor mistakes in his, and also he could add in for instance, or in fact. So he can add in more transition words of addition to add more oomph to his. So one of the good things of me going over somebody's essay on a video is I get to make corrections that I would not otherwise have seen. Just doing the forums. Anyway, so lastly, other nations would attack the United States much easier if the U.S. population did not have the right to own a firearm. In fact, gun ownership has been the most deterring factor for foreign nations to attack the United States for years. That's why it has never happened. The United States military is the first line of defense against domestic attacks, but if there was an invasion in the U.S., the citizens of this country would be able to protect their country. So you got to stick to third-person case. So you want to take out first-person case and always use third-person case for a more formal and professional tone. In conclusion, gun ownership has been a right of law-abiding United States citizens for nearly 250 years. Increasing gun control would cause three main problems in the U.S. that would greatly outweigh any gains some people think would come with it. Violent crimes would increase because only criminals would have firearms. Gun owners would defy the government because they want to have the freedom of having their own guns and protecting themselves. And foreign nations would attack the homeland much easier because they wouldn't have to fight against a U.S. population of gun owners. Anyone who thinks taking guns away would be the answer to the few mass shootings in the U.S. would change their mind once any of these things started happening. And so he wrote a good job. He did a good job of summing up his paper. So in your conclusion, you restate the thesis statement, and then you summarize the highlights of your paper and what takeaway lessons that people can get from your lecture. Then your references, you put in the author name, then you put in the article name, and then you put in, actually here, it should be more like Reeves, Brian A., 2006, July. Then you put in violent felons in large urban counties, and then he did it correctly, in which he did italicize it correctly, and it's, see, italicize this. Then you write in the publication, and then I don't need italicize anymore. Okay, so you would write Department of Justice, which is where he got the information from, and then that's it. So if he got it from a website, then he could put in retrieved today's date from web address. That is, if he got it from a website. So you would add in the last part. So then he had the correct components, but in the wrong order. So we want to put in the author's last name, first name, then you put in the date, then you put in the article name, then you put in the publication name, and then when you retrieved it. So basically, your reference citation should match your in-text citation. Reeves should match Reeves. That's it. If you're, because that way the reader would know where you got the information from. And so in this paper, this student got his information from Brian Reeves. And so don't forget that for when you write any kind of numerical data, like with numbers, historical facts, medical facts, any kind of unknown knowledge, you have to cite the source inside your paper. And also, he needs to write out his contractions, because if you put in contractions in your paper, that makes your paper sound too conversational. But other than a few mistakes here and there, he has excellent essay structure, because he has an effective thesis statement, and his topic sentences all match his thesis. So, and he wrote a convincing, persuasive essay for his persuasive essay assignment. So I'm very proud of his progress. And yes, I got his permission to use his essay on one of my videos. So this ends this video on persuasive essay writing. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me.